Hello everyone and welcome to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway for round 4 of season 3 of the Mumbai Falcons Indian Sim Racing League in association with Volkswagen Motorsport India. I'm Justin Prince. Along with me is my director and Salra for what should be an exciting race for the pre-ultimate round of the campaign. First things first, we'd like to remind you that the title sponsor for this series is the Mumbai Falcons. They are undertaking several initiatives to innovate and positively impact the entire motorsports ecosystem and its related facilities. Their overall vision is to develop supporting projects which impact motorsport and next-generation automotive developments. Also, this series is in association with Volkswagen Motorsport. They launched the Polo Cup in 2010, marking their entrance into Indian motorsport. The aim was to provide a platform for young drivers to begin professional racing and display their skills on the national level. Since then, they have produced many race drivers who have progressed to race internationally. The organization continues to groom budding racing talent into world-class drivers and recently won the Indian Touring Car Championship. After the Polo, they had the Ventio Cup, then the Amio Cup, and now they're going back to the Polos for next season. Let's talk about how things have gone so far this season in the Indian Sim Racing League. It has been an interesting championship battle so far, with Amit Kuti at the top of the standings with 280 total points, but had his biggest challenge of the season for those who tuned in at WeatherTech Race Live Laguna Seca after he jumped the initial start, thinking that there was the full green lights when there was still one red light remaining before the drop of the green flag from Barney the flagman. That, in turn, has still left the door open pending any attrition today for Abdul Azim, who is 52 points back in the standings. Third place is Saipa 3 with 75 points behind the championship leader. 191 points as well as Abdul Qadir with 89 points back. Then the battle for 5th spot in the championship is still up for the grabs. That's the last of the spots for rupees on the line, with Hatem Yashadri along with Yadev battling within 1 point to decide who will get that top 5 points paying position in the final 4 total races and 2 rounds of the campaign. Now, a couple noteworthy storylines entering today. First things first, a guest driver will be taking part in today's round. That will be Jeffrey Kruger, the official Universal Healthcare sponsored driver, European and South African Volkswagen champion. He's been a winner in multiple different classes, as well as in multiple different levels of the Polo Cup in multiple different countries. Some of those championships include the 2015 Poland Gold Golf Cup Championship for Volkswagen 2015, as well as a top 3 finish in 2017 in the South African Engine Volkswagen Cup National Championship. He's been racing in various different simulations and various different levels for the past few weeks or so throughout this entire world situation. Had recently, as much as in February as well, raced in classic cars in South Africa at the Zwartkops Raceway. We'll see how he does today when he hits the racetrack, a part of the 21 estimated starters for today's first part of the round. Now, today we're at Texas Motor Speedway. It's the old edition, pre-repaved, with the 24 degrees of banking at both ends of the speedway. But the road course is similar compared to that in terms of what it is in real life today still. 2.28 miles, 3.67 kilometers, 10 turns is the circuit. That will also see the drivers basically use the majority of the speedway, including the quad oval, all the way up to the back straightaway. That's where you see the infield section pop in. They'll go through that infield course, then pop back out to the back straightaway once more before diving their way through turn number 3. Now, drivers are allowed to use the apron section around the racetrack, similar to how it was at Daytona International Speedway. You can see right now, building up some speed right now, is in P number 7. This is Kajik Mohandraja, who is on his 3rd lap of 1:13.199, puts him into 7th position at the moment. Top driver on the board is Amit Kuti with a 1:12.355, Saipa 3 in 2nd with a 1:12.565. Abdul Fattah in 3rd position. Abdul Azim, Raymond Summerwell round out the top 5 qualifiers, separated by 7/10 of a second. Now, the times were very close, mind you, in practice as well, not just in the hot laps, but as well in the average 5-lap stints for some of the drivers. Much of the top 5 in practice were within 4/10 in average lap pace over that span. The top times were in the 1:12.2s to the 1:12.9s amongst the top 10 drivers. Drivers were given a new setup to race with today, as this is a fixed setup series, and it's looking like it may be a competitive one today for these drivers. Tom coming across the stripe, you see him try and bump up to a 1:12.424, gets him up to second position. For Abdul, it's been a rough one. In the past couple rounds, he's had good speed, just not the luck. Same for the Season 2 champion Patry. He has had multiple times where he's had a shot to come away with a victory, but has had collisions factor into some of those race finishes. He's currently third in qualifying, was the fastest driver in practice with a 1:12.218. 1:12.331 puts him up to the top of the board on his final lap across the stripe this time. Under 3 minutes to go in qualifying for today. Many of the drivers have already completed their sessions. The only drivers who are yet to complete times as well. One who's currently spinning out on the grass. This is Najib Al-Ahmed, who is in 17th position. Then you have Sai Patry, who is still trying to come around for one final time. Everybody else has completed either 3 or 4 laps in their qualifying runs. With the 57 machine on its final lap. Remember, the winner of the championship gets one-day testing in a Volkswagen Motorsport Race-Spec Championship car with training from 8-time national champion karting and Formula Racing in Raymond Banerjee. The runner-up gets a 2-day training in a 4-stroke karting machine with Team Rayo Racing, with a sponsored race in the Indy Karting Clash of Karts. One sponsored race for Indy Karting Clash of Karts goes to second runner-up. As well as mentioned, there will be rupees involved for said championship pools. Specifically, the winner gets 15,000 of them, 10,000 for the runner-up, 5,000 for the second runner-up, fourth 2,000 in Volkswagen Motorsport merchandise, fifth 1,000 with merchandise. The rest of the drivers do receive so as well. 19 drivers have taken times, approaching 1 minute to go until the end of the session. 3 drivers did not put in official qualifying times. As you'll follow along on the left side of the screen, those drivers, Kieran Kaushik, along with our noteworthy driver today in Jeffrey Kruger, also not putting a time in. It's Anil Cookday. Those drivers appear to be starting at the back for today. Should note the 24 did take 4 total attempts. But per iRacing regulation, if you have any off track at any point in your qualifying run, the lap you are currently on will be voided. You'll have to go on to a next qualifying attempt/lap. Fortunately for him, had 4 of them in 4 laps. Now, these drivers getting all set to go. Let's talk about how they will line up for today. Sai Patry will start at the top of the field at the head of the group, with Amit Kuti in second position. Patel starts in third with Abdul Azim in fourth position. Then you have Kaushik Mohandraja with one of his best qualifying runs in fifth. Raymond Summerwell in sixth. Of course, Abdul Kadir in P number 7. Oshan Kotadia starts in P number 8. Abdul Hadi in ninth. Then you have Rohit Root in P number 10. Avadish Gupta, he's had a quiet season so far. He's in 11th spot today with Abdul Rakib in 12th. Mohit Grover starts in 13th. Vikish N starts in 14th after making his debut last round. Hatramesh Ujri, who's been good in the invert part of the round, starts 15th. In 16th position, Swaraj Yadarab in P number 16. Najib Al-Ahmed in P number 17. Joanne Lamed starts in 18th, with Divyan Dudia in P number 19. Rest of the drivers on provisionals, those will be Kruger, along with Kaushik, along with Cookday. See see those now specifically on your screen with the differences in times between the top of the board and the bottom of the board in qualifying. 112s to 113s in pace. Once again, today we'll see 20 minutes of racing action for race 1. Top 12 will be inverted based on their finishing position in this race for race number 2 of this schedule. In sim time, 9:44 a.m. Time of day. And the day itself, it's iRacing default day. It's May the 15th. Track temperature 90 degrees, air temp 80 degrees, wind not a factor, humidity not a factor at 52%. Drivers all set to go, green lights are waiting. Barney the flagman waits up at the top of the group, waves the green flag. We're underway for round 4. Much of the field already diving their way down to the apron in turn 1 and 2, trying to keep away from the 24 degrees of banking. Already lots of blocking, heading off towards the road course section. Late break from Kuti, dives to the inside, already contact. 2 of the top championship competitors off the circuit. That cycles the 34.5 of Azim up to the lead from 4th, and the caution is out, full safety car. Full safety car period after the top 2 drivers collided. Another 3 or 4 also lost control coming off of NASCAR 2 into the hard-braking zone. Kadur, Hadi amongst some of the drivers who lost control. Others spun out, such as Patria, as we mentioned, as well as Ahmed. Also had many rejoining the track from behind the tire barriers. So already a quick caution flag to start off round number 4. First safety car of the season. Remember, the drivers do have fast repairs available if needed, so this is a lucky timing of a caution if you're a Saipatri or Kuti or any of the championship competitors who are involved in the incident. Pit lane still closed, so they'll have to catch up to the safety car. But what a wild start to this one. Lama did had to pull onto a tow truck as he broke his suspension in the incident. Rakib and Hadi already diving their way down to the lane, and Kuti is also driving around in the 5 machine all the way back in 16th spot or so with a broken right rear tire. Let's talk about the car you see on your screen meanwhile. In second position, has had a lot of bad luck this season, the 16-year-old student. His racing experience? Says it's road tax test specifically. The sim experience, though, 1 year on iRacing, 5 years in various other different simulators. Favorite driver Lewis Hamilton has had a stellar campaign. His rival just so happens to be in front of him, Abdul Azim. His goal, finish in the top 4 in the championship standings. At the end of the campaign, we'll see how that goal is from 21st position, where he scored the most points in a round for him in 30 in race number 5 in round number 3. Again, safety car is on the track, 17 minutes to go on the clock, just about 3 minutes in to recap your top 5. Exim, Fataz, Summerwell, Grover, and then you have Yadri, who has no front nose cone at all and looks more like something you see from a space shuttle or a Mars moonwalker or something for his car. Many others are also catching up to the safety car as they now try and make their way towards the pit lane to use that fast repair. Using them, Mohandraja, Prithvi also having to use one, going to the pit lane is Rohit Road. Few drivers having to come down to the lane, as you'll see here. As you can see, stop in the box, pick up the fast repair, off and away. Executed near to perfection. 1 second pit stop for the 57. 1. That is unheard of. Mind you, even in iRacing standards, most of his other competitors, 7 seconds. taking your fuel or tires on the jacks. Lights are out on the safety car, by the way, as these drivers get ready to take the green flag once more from Barney the flagman up at the stand at the front straightaway. Remember, this is similar to what you'll see for those sticking around for race number 2, as those are rolling starts. See how these drivers handle this rolling start in race 1. And contact in second! Crash between 3rd and 4th. Summerwell hit the back of the car in front, collected Grover. Multiple drivers collect in the process. They still cannot get going. A couple of them have broken body parts and suspension parts. As they were tapping the brakes going through the midway portion of the road course, Summerwell ran over the car in front of him, then got collected by Grover in the process. Fatah now has a damaged back wing that's nearly falling off the car. Unreal circumstances and bad luck finding its way to the 7 for race number 1 today, as Azim all set to get back racing at the head of the field with his clean race car. Azim second in the championship standings. Great chance to gain points today. Off and away. Green flag is back out. Blistering start with many of the other drivers with damage behind them. You see Fatah, that back wing completely sheared off. And Anand trying to go around with a broken right front wing. And you have Yadri as well, driving without a whole entire front nose cone. This allowed multiple drivers to spin, and Fatah's lost it. Contact coming into the infield section. 4 drivers stacked up. Gupta collected. Fatah still spinning. Lama with a broken race car. Rakib also collected. Pradeep was able to get through cleanly, though, to get back up to 9th. More cars losing control in front of the Mohandrajan was lost control in the midway portion of the infield section. Meanwhile, Azim, he's waving bye-bye through the cockpit. Anand is currently in second position, looking to try and have his best performance so far. Dudia in 3rd, Kaushik in 4th. Then you have Yadav rounding out the top 5 positions. Interesting story, by the way, involving that 24 machine. The 23-year-old casually karts in real life, but has multiple months of experience, 5 to be precise. His hobbies, gaming and speed cubing. Drives without force feedback. He and many others have tried to follow the lead of this man. Cypatry in terms of his pace. He's now catching up as well to Jeffrey Kruger. Kruger currently in the 6th position just up the road. Kruger a plus 14 from his starting position. Remember, didn't make it into qualifying in time to set a tie. 21 in front of the 57. Just past 12 minutes to go on the clock as they make their way back onto the oval portion of the racetrack. Of note, Emmett Kuti amongst some of the drivers who have had horrific luck in race 1 of round 4 today, has had to come down to the pit lane, taking our fast repair and service, putting him down a lap in this race. Battle is on though, just up the road, side by side for second. Dudia, Anand trying to fight hard. Anand pushes up, contact! They slam hard! Kaushik moves up to second position. They're still crashing, collected in the incident as well as Kruger. You can see here, the wing damage causes a push up for the 19. Dudia tries to dive to the left side. Gets defended and boom, both cars' suspensions demolished. Azim now leads by 7 seconds, but the battle's still on for second on back. Cypher 3 is now within range to fight for the second step of the podium. And what could be a shot to close in on a 75-point differential entering today. Lap traffic lets him through. Under a second or so to the next spot in front. Just outside the draft range right now and using every bit of the real estate on the track you can get. Mind you, the yellow cones for the pit stop entry are just after the UPS logos on that quad oval. Carrying 144 miles an hour, 250 plus kilometers an hour for Petrie, heading off into the back straightaway infield. So far, the top 5 have not had to use a fast repair. Check that for the top 5. Highest running driver has had to come down for service is currently Petrie. Everyone else has either had to come down once or twice today in a crazy first race of the round. The gap between Petrie and Kruger has grown to more than 9+ seconds, as you see. The gap between them along with Petrie is, though, just 0.3 of a second. The 57, hard cut to the left side of the orange cone. Side by side, heading to NASCAR 1. Petrie takes away the bottom line. The 26 gives him the spot. Back into a podium position, the 57 aside Petrie. Still within about a second or so of taking away second. Kaushik within range, 1:12.748 last time by for Petrie, 1:13.7 for Kaushik. See the focus going through fifth gear all the way back down to third. Rumble through this section. This has been where Petrie, though, right here, the heartbreaking sections where he's been making his living this season. 5-car length gap shrinks down to just 1 based on confidence alone, and he'll be given second. Kaushik moves right to the outside bank and gives Cy Petrie the position, moves Cy up to P2. It's been a wild campaign for him, has had just 1 second place finish, has not even had a victory in Season 2 after winning 4 of the 5 rounds last campaign. He's the fastest car on the track. They have an estimated 6 laps to go this upcoming time by, but he's got to close up an 8-second gap. That's to Azim, who with the bad luck of Ahmed Kuti, might make things interesting for race number 2 of round 4, if not for round 5 for the season finale. Stefan Schalacker will be on the call for that one this Sunday for what should be an interesting one. Speaking of interesting moments, Battle for 6 is getting interesting. That's among some of the drivers who have had some bad luck. Rakib is slowly reeling in Mudek Grover. Remember Grover, Canadian-based driver, had been in the top 3 before contact during the safety car period had forced him to take a tow truck in the safety car. Rakib has also had a couple different spins today. He's had to take 2 fast repairs in this round alone. See a bit of a difference between some of the gearing compared to what we're seeing with Cy Petrie and some of the others. An infield section, one driver taking in 3rd gear. Seen, for example, Rakib was taken in 2nd gear. There is one constant, though, down the straightaways of 5th gear. Petit, though, has been able to catch up to Rohit Rowe for a chance to take away the 9th position and try and recover some points. Similar situation in terms of having to recover positions compared to the first race of the last round. Trying to move out to the outside line, try and use the slipstream. Kuti trying to bounce and bump his way around. Taking the outside line, misses the corner and then some. Nearly says hello to the tires again and loses all his time. Does have the raw pace, though, to potentially take away the 9th position. As you see, missed the braking point. Tried to take up the high line. Nearly smacks the tires with the right side of the wing. 5 minutes up on the clock. Estimated 5 laps to go this time by. Drivers running the 112s at the moment in the fast times. P3 is up for grabs within 0.4 of a second meanwhile. That's where Kaushik is currently trying to hold on to a battle with the 26. Yet one of the newcomers this season has been having a stellar battle for position. And having a stellar round as well. Set at 0.4 of a second quicker lap last time by. Has the slipstream back to the apron in 3 and 4. Much of the passes today have come either down the exit of NASCAR 3 and 4. Or in this run up here, based on amount of momentum built up, 152 miles an hour, 259 kilometers an hour. Trying to get some run on the outside line. Forced to back out of it as he tries to set it hard on the brakes. Similar to what Kuti tried to do for P9's battle, trying to diamond the corner, heading to the infield. Setting it hard, bounces around. This time, Kaushik not giving up the position. He wants a podium and wants it hard. Lap traffic also joined the fight, and Raymond Summerwell be right behind them. Might be a factor here in the final 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Deb trying to go hard again to the corner. Still can't get a run quite yet on Kaushik. Of note, Kruger has pulled into the pit lane for this round. This is now officially the battle for 3rd position. Next spot back is a good 35 seconds behind. Kaushik gaining some time this time. Has to let by the lap traffic. Somewhat quicker than these two machines at the moment. Swaraj might be trying to hope that Raymond makes Kaushik have to back off when he has to let by the faster car in the 64. Samuel poking his way around to the quick left-right. Still not letting by the lap traffic. That is the 10th place car trying to hound the 2nd place driver. Check that 3rd place. Shears off the back wing. Yadev hit the wing. Similar situation to what happened with Summerwell when he hit the back end of Fatah's car. This has just opened up the door for 3rd as 3rd has crashed. Kaushik without the back wing, hard into the fence, has to take another fast repair it looks like. You can see without that back wing, no downforce, bye-bye race car. That has now moved Yadev up to 3rd position outright by a wide margin due to the bad luck of some of his competitors. But Saipatri might have a shot to be back in the championship fight with some of the bad luck for Kuti and Co today. He's evened out though compared to Azim in lap pace, only gaining 0.2 of a lap in the final couple laps of this race. Under a minute to go on the clock. Azim already within range to lap Kuti, in fact, in this race again. Kuti is right now about a minute and 11 seconds behind Azim in total time. Should note that Kalchik is still in fourth position by 3 seconds over Grover based on his time out of the pit lane. Only had to serve a tenth of a second pit stop to get a new back rear wing on the car. Expecting the final laps of the race to be coming up. Clock is reaching its final moments, under 10 seconds to go. White flag is out. Final lap for Abdul Azim. Azim's been on the podium a few times. Battery ready to jump onto the podium for a second time in P2. But Abdul Azim kept the car clean, dominated much of the way. He wins race 1 of round 4 at Texas. Battery comes home in second position. Deb in third spot. 14 seconds behind P2. Kalchik recovers to a P4. Potentially. It's not over yet because he lost a second to Grover. As long as he makes no mistakes, come away with the top 5 run. One of his best races of the season. No 4-speed back as mentioned on the wheel. When he got into sim racing a few months ago, got the wheel as a gift. That got him into iRacing. He'll come home in 4th. Grover coming home with the top 5. Rakib, Fatah, Kuti round out the top 8 drivers in the lead lap. Everybody else 1 lap down. Rohit Roo, Samuel, Ahmed, P11, 1 lap down. Dudia in P12, a lap down. And spun around 13th. Kruger in 14th. Gupta, Lama, Mohan Raja, Gudia in 18th. Round out the top 18. Yadri in 19th. Hadi in 20th. Gadur DNFs in 21st. Cookday did not make it to the grid in 22nd today. Interesting round today. An interesting race round to start things off. Let's talk with some of your drivers. In fact, after this one. Standing by with the 4th place finisher now. Karan Kalchik now joins us in the broadcast booth. 21st to 4th. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, but a bit disappointed. I just kept my cool and didn't do any mistakes and capitalized on others' mistake, but got rear-ended in the end. But would have been a podium otherwise. But yeah, pretty good. Did not qualify to P4, I guess. So yeah, overall a good experience.
Indeed. What made this first race so tricky here? Because a lot of drivers were caught in attrition in the infield today.
Yeah, so the track is really tricky at parts. It gets bumpy and there are a couple of corners where you can't see where the corner is actually ending. So you end up oversteering or understeering, and it gets difficult as the race goes on. Even the grip level goes away. But yeah, if people had been careful, probably it could have been a cleaner race. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
Now, after the performance in race 1, how do you look to carry that in race 2? As with the invert, you'll be starting about P8 today.
Yeah, so P8 is not a bad positions to start in, but I think some of the faster guys are starting ahead of me. So hopefully we can, stay consistent and not get into too many incidents and probably have a clean race. And I can probably, I think top 5 is achievable if I just play it clean and calm. So yeah.
Anyone you want to thank for your top 4 run today in the first race?
Definitely the entire league has been amazing. Thanks to all of these guys for organizing it. We didn't have something like this in India at all. So this is like a really great chance for everyone to come and show what exactly their skills are.
Thank you very much for the time. Good luck in race 2.
Thank you very much.
Grant Kalchik coming home in P4 in this first race. Interesting run, to say the very least. We'll also see if we could talk, in fact, when the Ahmed, in fact. Najib, do you have a copy?
Yeah.
Interesting first race of the round today. Well, how was it from your perspective? And he has immediately left the booth as a result. Anywho, drivers now getting ready for race number 2. We'll allow those drivers to get ready. Stick around. It has been an interesting start here at Texas. You're watching the Mumbai Falcons Indian Sim Racing League in association with Volkswagen Motorsport India. Stick around. Race number 2 is in about 20 minutes.